Hello, it's Rashida. Today I am going to attempt to use my Studio Calico Project Life kit from January. I do get the Studio Calico Project Life kits each month, and I haven't actually used the kit in its entirety on a layout. I use bits and pieces of the kit here and there because I usually just end up breaking everything down and putting it into my stash and using it that way. So I'm going to challenge myself to try to use this kit because that will give me an idea if the kit is actually working for me in terms of using it. So I want to give it a chance, and I actually like this kit. I like the colors, I like the cards, I like, a lot of the embellishments for this month. So yeah, so what I've done, I pulled a page protector, and this is by SEI, and I got this from Joann.com. And basically it is a Design H. If you're familiar with the Becky Higgins page protectors, this is comparable to a Design H. So you have two 4x6s and two 3x4s. I know it's hard to see with the lighting, but that's that. And then I have this page protector by Photo Freedom, which is by Echo Park, and this is like the Becky Higgins Design A. So you have two 4x6s and four 3x4s and two 4x6s at the bottom. So that's that, and I've printed my photos off of my Canon selfie because it was just easy to do it that way. So we shall see how this works. So what I'm doing now is organizing everything, and I'm going to place all the cards, all the embellishments, the stamp. I'm going to place them into this Creative Options container, and that way I can just go to that container whenever I need a card or an embellishment, or if I want to use the stamp, and that way everything's a little bit organized and I can easily put down my photos and my page protectors and just work from there instead of having everything everywhere. So I'm even going to place my photos in here as well until I get ready for those. So now I've got my photos out. I'm going to arrange them into the page protectors as I think they should go. So this is a little insert page, and this is going to be my first page, and so I'm just trying to figure out where I want everything. And to me, the process is easiest for me when I get my photos in the pockets, and then from there I just pick which cards I'm going to use. And working with the kit, it just makes it that much easier because your cards are already selected and you just select from the selection, if that makes sense. So I'm going to use this 2015 acetate transparency. I set that aside. I'm still working on the cards here. And one thing with the kit, you don't get as many 4x6 cards. So I thought that was going to be a challenge in itself because I like to have an abundance of 4x6 cards to choose from. They give you plenty of 3x4s. So there's a variety of 3x4s to choose from. So I'm just going through, and another thing about Studio Calico kits, I mean, the cards, everything's all coordinated and you don't have to worry about colors. If you're not really good at matching up colors, or if you're not very familiar with the color wheel and all that, they've pretty much taken care of that for you. So it's just a matter of seeing which card that I want to use. So that's just a photo of my stuffed animals on the bed, if you're wondering what that was. And I think now, let's see, what am I doing? I'm going to take out that midnight card, that midnight photo, because I needed a journaling spot there. So I took that out and put in a 3x4 card. And I'm going to trim down this 2015 transparency because I think it's a 5x7, so I had to trim it a little bit so it would fit in the 4x6 pocket. So I'm just using my what is it called? Creative Memories trimmer. So I've got that in. And I don't have to worry about the other side because it's clear, so the 2015 is on the front. I don't really have to worry about putting anything else on the back because you can see through it on the other side and it doesn't look bad from that perspective. Okay, so everything is arranged how I want it. So now it's just going to be about adhering my photos, corner rounding. I'm using the Mari corner rounder that I really like to use. So now I'm going to use these letters. Now this large January wood veneer came in the kit, but I decided to use these, I think they're like vinyl alphas. And I like the font, it's just sometimes I don't know how to place them down because they're very cursive and very fancy. So sometimes I'm not sure, like I'm spelling out January and I'm like, well, is the N, is that a U, or did I mix the N and the U up or whatever? But I just went with it because as you can see, it's very curvy, it's very fancy, it's kind of wonky, and I thought, well, if I got the two mixed up, nobody's really gonna know. So got Hello January, and now I'm going to use these chipboard hearts, and they are very cute. I really like those. They have like specks of gold on the front of them, so I thought it would be cute to use one to fill in the O in hello. So I'm going to put one of those down. And this is the stamp set that came in the kit. And for let's see, what am I doing? I think I'm going to put down 2015. I'm going to put 2015 on the journaling card at some point. Yes, I'm doing that now. I'm using the Studio Calico Color Theory ink. I think this is called Slate. It's like a gray color. Pardon me. So yeah, I stamped out 2015. And now I'm going to work on this card. Now, I take many trips to Target, and I know throughout my project life and last year and probably the year before, I've taken so many pictures of like the pharmacy area and places like that. So I decided to make this photo in black and white, just to give a different spin on the previous, like probably 50 other pictures I've taken of the same, you know, of the same picture. So yeah, maybe that will be helpful. I know a lot of people have trouble with taking the same photos all the time, so maybe if you put like a different perspective on it by changing the color and maybe telling a different story to go along with the photo, that might help. So the kit came with these chipboard words, and they don't really all go together. They're just kind of like single words. So I decided to just use them as like a background. So as you saw quickly there, I just put them all down and just made like a simple background with them. So I'm using a stamp on this photo of my iPad that I got, and I stamped top 5 because it was like one of the top 5 things that I wanted this year. So I got that in the pocket, and I just added 3 hearts from the alpha sticker sheet. And on this Love This card, I'm going to add another one of those heart chipboard pieces. I just think they're just so cute. Not that this card needs a whole lot of decoration, but just a small element like those chipboard hearts just adds just that little bit of simplicity to it. And it looks like you did a whole lot to the card when you actually didn't. So I'm going to stamp right now. That's also from the stamp set for this month. And I stamped it out on a piece of paper first because sometimes these Studio Calico inks, they don't, I don't know, they don't give good coverage sometimes. Like, I have no problem with the black color, but sometimes the other colors stamp a little splotchy. So I pulled out my typewriter just to jazz up this journaling card, just to add a little bit of interest with that vintage typewriter font. So I did that, and I just did some journaling about this ceramic kitty that I got. It's really a pen and pencil holder, and so I took a photo of that, and I used the stamp. Now I do sometimes get the Studio Calico add-on stamps, and this stamp that says the little things, yeah, little things, whatever it says, yeah, the little things, that was from one of the add-on stamps for this month. So this page is pretty much done. So now I'm going to work on the insert page, and I'm going to put down this photo again of my stuffed animals. And I have a stuffed animal monkey, and when you turn him on, he rolls over and he goes ha 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 ha. So he's under the blanket, and all you see is his tail sticking up. So if you're wondering what that is, that's his tail sticking up out of the cover. So I stamped the story of today, and so yeah, I used that die set that came in the stamp set, and I'm going to stamp Shine on this circular piece. I'm going to add that to the selfie photo, and I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to end up covering up part of my forehead, which is okay. I think you can still see me in the photo. So it would have been fine if I just left the Shine On and maybe that circular piece, but I wanted to use the whole thing, so I used that pinking circle portion of it as well. I think it's okay. And I'm going to stamp directly on the photo. And I forgot that I printed these photos on my Canon selfie, so it's going to smear. In a second here, you're going to see. Yeah, see how I didn't stamp so well? It's all smudgy. So, yeah, see, smudgy. So I'm taking a baby wipe, and I was going to wipe off the whole entire stamp, but I was like, no, I'm just going to cover it up. So I ended up stamping it on a piece of Studio Calico background card, and I'm using my Stampin' Up circular punch and just using that as a die cut, so it worked out just fine. And I actually like it this way anyway, better than stamped on the photo. And I really love this Adventure Awaits card. I like the font of the words and the background of it as well. So I think, yeah, I'm just going to add like some stars and some hearts around the words, and that's going to be it for that card. So I'm trying to use up as much of the embellishments as I can, because that was my goal. and I was trying to decide what to do on this the Twilight Zone photo, and I didn't want to do too much to it because I mean it kind of stands out on its own. But I did have this stamp that came with the add-on stamp that says "Weird is the new normal," and I thought that was perfect. So I don't know how many of you guys watched the Twilight Zone marathon on, I think it was New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So I had never really watched it, prior to that. So it was very interesting to see those episodes. So, and that's just a photo, just relaxing around at home, and I think I'm going to use the pajamas all day. That was one of the die cuts in the Studio Calico kit. So now I'm taking this gold ink, I think it's like a paint marker. I'm going to fill in these stars on this movie review card, and I thought it was great, since watching the Twilight Zone, and I'm just kind of saying, basically that's what I did. And I'm filling in the stars with this gold pen that I got off of Amazon. And I used some thickers to just put Happy New Year, because I think I need to point that out, that it was, the new year and everything. So I'm just placing everything in my album, and yeah, just one final flip. That's it. Thanks for watching.